and good afternoon, everyone. I hope you enjoyed our opening music and added a little bit of razzmatazz to our ceremony today. You're all so very welcome this afternoon to celebrate volunteering. And I suppose it's pretty exciting. It's our 17th year of pausing and acknowledging student volunteering. And so it's wonderful to be able to celebrate together. We started off in 2004 in the gallery in the Quadrangle in NUI Galway. And we moved on to the Emily Anderson Upper and Lower Aula in the Quadrangle and the Bailey Allen Hall. And today, now our ceremony has inputs from viewers all over the world, and we're so thrilled to be virtually together today to acknowledge volunteering. So my name is Lorraine Tansey, you're super welcome. And before we dive into our ceremony today and our proceedings, we want to pause now and we want to acknowledge a very important person, a very significant colleague in NUI Galway of ours, Mary McPartland. Mary pioneered an outstanding contributor to NUI Galway's program of arts and culture for students and for staff. She had a long legacy of contributions beyond NUI Galway, of course, and there's an outpouring of love for Mary, and we acknowledge that Mary made an outstanding contribution to Arts in Action. She not only engaged students to participate or to view arts from around the world brought straight to the Áras na Machlean, but she also engaged students to volunteer and to be active in the creation of art and culture for our campus. So Mary, rest in peace, and we love you and your family, and we're thinking of you today, and we wanted to take a moment to honor you and your contribution. So thank you all for that opportunity. Today, we are going to share some stories from students who've been volunteering. We have community voices today, so big welcome to our community partners who've joined us. And we're going to kickstart our proceedings with a video. So we've put together some highlights, and essentially we've been looking back over this academic year, and there's been so many stellar moments. So we have this nice visual and piece put together that we hope you'll enjoy. So I'm going to share my screen now, and this is all going to work seamlessly as we engage in this year's highlights. Okay, brilliant. So hopefully you got to see a little flavour of this year's volunteering programmes across the campus and across the wider community. And we have a couple of more videos in store for you that will pop up onto Facebook. But for now, we're going to go over to some of our volunteers, and we're going to kickstart, of course, with our volunteer coordinators. So we have two people who on campus coordinate extensive volunteering. And I suppose this is the thing, volunteering doesn't just happen, right? It needs highly skilled and coordinated efforts to make it happen. So our first speaker we're thrilled to have with us, thank you so much for joining us. We've got Cameron from the Students' Union, our Vice President. And Cameron, we'd love to hear from you about what it was like to coordinate some wonderful students this year as volunteers.
Thank you so much, Karen, for inviting me to come and speak. I'm delighted to be able to zoom into kind of a very unusual type of ceremony. But congratulations to you and your team and all the work that you've put into this year. It's been amazing to see. And I suppose from my point of view in the union, we get a lot from volunteers, specifically our class reps and our CAIM leaders, who give a lot back into our university community in ways that maybe other students don't necessarily see all the time. They tend to be the people that identify problems or issues or concerns maybe that students in their class are having to us as the union, but also to the wider university population. And they do a lot of work that goes sometimes unnoticed, but really makes a difference into the lives of the students that they're actually interacting with every day, but also in the lives of everyone that's trying to make the student experience better for all our population on campus. And I suppose from my own experience, when I was doing my undergraduate and my master's, I would have been involved with the live program and volunteered each of the years and gotten lots of different things out of it. And I suppose coming into this role, that was very much something that I wanted to give the class reps anyways, that we had that perspective of being able to give back their time in a way that suited them and in a way that developed skills for them as well, focusing very much on the training that we did with them, making sure their voice was heard and making sure that they felt safe and comfortable to volunteer. And to be that voice for their class, or to be that voice in a peer-led session for learning. And it's really important to have different volunteering opportunities. We always talk about how engagement for students is important and extracurricular activities is really important for a student, but we don't necessarily always provide opportunities for students that makes it feel that they can do that. And I think the CAIM program and the class rep program is a different type of volunteering that appeals to a different type of student. And so we're widening the opportunities that students on campus have to actually engage with the university population, with their academic staff, with us as the union, but also enhance their own experience in college. And I know that my experience as an education officer this year would have been completely different had I not had an amazing set of volunteers in our class rep program and in our CAIM leaders to ensure that everything ran smoothly, to bring us issues that were happening, but also to keep us on our toes and to make sure that we're always fighting for the rights of students in the way that they wanted. So I just want to say,
yeah, sorry, I'm just going to pause you there for 1 second because we've dropped the video off Facebook. So we're going to just hang on a second till we can get back up onto Facebook. I think what you're sharing is of such value and I'd love for it to go out to everyone. Of course, this recorded session will also go out. And we're back again. So your last point there, Cam, was really important. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, and I suppose it was good to keep us to an account as well as what we were doing and to ensure that we were always putting the student voice first. And I think that's what a lot of volunteering can do on campus as well, is it really highlights the needs of students and how we can help each other as a campus community. And I think even in this time of kind of uncertainty, we're seeing a lot of students come out volunteering, a lot of students putting the skills that they've learned this year in different roles to the test, essentially, to make sure that our university population supports one another and is there. And I think that's an incredible skill to come out of the Alive program with. And I just want to finish with congratulating everyone that's being awarded today on the amazing work that they've done all year, and to you and your team again for the work that they've done. And I hope that even though it is online, that everyone has a wonderful experience with this and is really proud of the work that they've done this year.
Oh, thank you, Cameron. That's incredible, amazing. And you also have this wonderful hat that you're super engaged, of course, off campus. So we just want to thank you and acknowledge all of your work for those that I suppose are most marginalized and most vulnerable in our communities. You're just a stellar human. We love you. And thank you so much. Next we have the fabulous Mark Lynch. And Mark, as a student, you were very active as a volunteer. Look at you, you got a paid job out of it. You're our wonderful editor for our student newspaper. You manage a team of volunteers, and we'd love to hear your lovely message today about that experience of coordinating.
Thanks, Lorraine. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Mark Lynch, and I've been the editor of SIN for this past academic year. First off, I'd like to wholeheartedly congratulate every student who is receiving an award this afternoon. Your efforts do not go unnoticed, and you fully deserve your day of celebration. SIN, for anyone who is unaware, is the student newspaper at NUI Galway. We produce 6 32-page issues each semester, and we are entirely reliant on student volunteers to do this, most, if not all of whom will be receiving this valuable award today. The work put in by volunteers to help produce our newspaper is incalculable, and that, I'm sure, is true of volunteers all across the different student societies, organisations and other groups which we'll get to hear about today. They are the crux of our newspaper, and while it feels an obvious thing to say, I should still acknowledge that it literally couldn't be made without their contribution. From the age of 4, we are taught to achieve academically, which undoubtedly helps us to give us opportunities to study and work in fulfilling and exciting environments. However, we are not our grades and we are not our careers. We are people. Participation in extracurricular activities, whether it be sport, music, or volunteering, helps us to grow as people, and this can be more rewarding than any one you might seek in your university degree. Of course, some extracurricular activities help you to grow in other ways too, and you develop skills that can be transferred to the workplace environment, such as learning to work in teams, face challenges, or just generally undertaking a certain level of responsibility. In the world of media, endeavour and experience tend to count that bit more than grades. Student journalists need to go above and beyond to show that they're cut out for such a demanding yet rewarding industry. This is where student media comes in. SIN provides students from all courses a creative yet structured environment with which to get involved and develop skills which will stand to them in years to come. I was a volunteer myself with SIN for 4 years before I became editor, so you can trust me on that one. While the paper is full of contributions by individuals, we are at the end of the day a team and a community at SIN. Volunteering by its nature invites and encourages like-minded people to form teams and communities in lots of different spheres. For university students, volunteering with SIN and with other communities can often be another place to make friends. SIN provides volunteers with so much, but in turn the volunteers make it what it is. Every issue, SIN is packed with pieces by some of the best writers in NUI Galway, many of whom will, without doubt, make it to the very top of whatever path in media they choose. They make it a paper to be proud of. SIN is just one example of what volunteers, specifically student volunteers, can achieve when trusted with the opportunity to work together, create and take initiative. It was my privilege as this year's editor to witness that firsthand, and I would like to thank all the students who contributed to the paper this year for that privilege. Cumhgordicus agus Gurmagwith.
Oh gosh, Mark for president. That was amazing. Thank you so much. And I think really you found words for a lot of the sentiments we tried to impart. So yeah, I guess as a writer, yeah, you're pretty good at finding the words. Thank you so much, Mark. And all the best now. It's a big shoes to fill for next year's editor role of the SIN, but we're so grateful for a fantastic paper on our campus. It's a fantastic avenue for democracy. Yes, very important. Our next speaker is our wonderful student, Victoria, College of Science undergrad. And September. And as we were saying earlier, who knew Victoria was going to become such a hot topic, and online volunteering is where it's all at. So we'll head over to Victoria now. Hi, Victoria. And we're going to hang on because we have our connection lost again. So we're just going to hang on a second, and we're back. So that's great. I think every time we're back, I should do like a little musical performance. Victoria, over to you. Hello.
Can you see me there, Lorraine? I'm not sure if the video is on.
So we can't see your video at the minute. So there might be a little button.
Okay, it's back on. Sorry about that.
Here we go. Yay!
Yes, so I'm in my final year now, and I have been involved with quite a lot of different volunteering opportunities throughout my college years, including in second year as well. So I've experienced so much in relation to it. So I'm just going to talk about a little bit about the different things that I've been involved this year. So yeah, as you mentioned, I kind of started off with the volunteering this year, early in September. And the first thing that I was doing was the Ava Ball project. So this is basically an online volunteering project, which was really, really exciting. So what I was involved with was looking through a website that was provided for volunteers like you and me. And basically this website provides us an opportunity to get like credits from our volunteer work, which I thought was really, really exciting. So I looked through the website, gave my feedback on it. And in addition to that, I was also involved with making video interviews, which I did with you, Lorraine, and with a couple of other individuals. So it's great fun. I got to meet like lots of people, and yeah, it's a great way to like engage in the university life as well, like outside of just lectures and the ordinary side of thing. So yeah, and the most I think exciting thing about this opportunity was that me and the other volunteers who were involved, we were given the chance to go actually abroad on a completely paid trip to Brussels in Belgium, and that was basically an opportunity for us to present basically our findings and what we thought of the website, and of course what people like you, Lorraine, and other people involved with volunteering thought of the website, just to give them feedback on how it could be improved. Yeah, so that was really exciting. One of my favourite things that I did this year. In addition to that, I was involved with this thing called a buddy program. So that was set up by Lorraine, which was basically, I would describe it as like a training or event to kind of be informed about how to recognise like prejudice or discriminatory behaviour towards from like yourself and like other individuals, which I find like is really, really important to be aware of. So it's really exciting, it's really interesting, great way to meet people as well. And definitely, like if you've never like been to any such events, definitely go to those kind of things. Like there's loads of them on campus, like maybe ones in relation to racism or other topics. So definitely get involved with those. I think it would be like beneficial for anyone like during even your college years or even in your future career. It's definitely something like important to be informed of. Yeah, and then my final third volunteering opportunity that I was involved with was on the NUI Open Day, which I absolutely loved. It was a great experience. So I was representing my course, which is the Bachelor's in Biotechnology course. Got to speak with a lot of Leaving Cert students, tell them about my experience, and of course answer any questions that they had in relation to the course. So yeah, it was really fun. I got to chat to a lot of them, and of course during that time you get to practice your communication skills and so on and so forth. So I think just overall in general, you know, volunteering is like so important, just like in so many aspects. Like you can gain skills, you can just meet people and enjoy your time. But yeah, to everyone else out there, like I'm a final year student now, but for those who are continuing at college, definitely continue with volunteering because I get so much out of it, and it's just an enjoyable experience overall. So yeah, that's that for me.
Brilliant, Victoria. Thank you so much. And I suppose you've kind of highlighted there that there's new volunteer programs that spring up all the time, and we're going to hear from people today who've been involved in some other new volunteer programs. So it's just interesting how each and every year new projects spring up all the time that people can engage with. So yeah, and your enthusiasm and energy really comes across there. Huge thanks for your time. That's brilliant. Our next student is a master's student in the College of Business. Archibald, we're so thrilled you could join us and share your experience. You've been super active with Makerspace.
Yeah. Hi, so my name is Archibald. I'm currently
Up, and we're going to pause you there now for 1 second, and we're going to reconnect. And we love our tech support person, David, who is managing our connection to Facebook and making sure that we each get our moment of glory for our moms to see. David will give us a little word when we're up and ready again. Meanwhile, I'll have a musical interlude of I'm joking. I won't do that to you. It's just. And yeah, I got a couple of texts from people to say that they're watching on Facebook, which is really nice. So thank you very much for checking us out on Facebook. And up next is Archibald. We're ready to go, our master's student in the College of Business who's been active with Makerspace.
Yeah, hi. So my name is Archit and I'm currently pursuing Masters in Business Analytics. With it, I am also working in the Makerspace. So Makerspace is a space located where students can come and collaborate and share their ideas. Anyone can come anytime, and there are no bookings for the space. It is situated in the library on the first floor. We help people with the 3D printings. If they want any 3D prints, they can. We help them with providing by providing them Arduino boards. And if you want to go around to make some videos or anything, to take some interviews, we provide cameras, Insta360 cameras, Arduino, DJI Spark drones. And if you're free, you can come to our space and you can have a gala time. Like we have an Oculus Quest 360 VR. So like if anyone want to play any 360 virtual reality game, they can come. Also, we have different workshops taking place, like Thinkercads, drone workshops, Arduino boards workshops. If anyone want to get any knowledge from there, they can come. Talking about my experience, I'm really naive in it. This is my first volunteering after coming to an international level like NUIG, and I used to interact with many people, and they came to me and came to like listen, tell me their innovative ideas, which also helped me in my projects too. It was a brainstorming session for me. I learned 3D printing over there, and how to use many gadgets, how to design some 3D prints. And also I made some like many Irish friends and many like friends from different parts of the world, and got to know their culture very well. We are not just a team, we are a family. We have many get-togethers, and we had a Christmas party last time, and we were having a party before exams too, but due to these circumstances, we were not able to do a party. But yeah, overall it was an amazing experience.
Thank you, Archibald. And we will party again, don't you worry. Well done. And I think you've really encapsulated there, you know, I suppose that notion of, yeah, it's okay, there's the essence of what you're doing and the skills that you learn from it, but the wider piece around friendships. Yeah. Archibald, thank you so much. And what a great tip that
and I also thank everyone who just got the life ceremony award.
Congratulations. Yes. Thank you so much for that contribution. And our next speaker is also actually in the College of Business. I'm so excited to welcome a very active volunteer. The list is actually crazy, how many things you've participated in. So Nathan is going to go through, I mean, Shasuis, Cree, the Science Festival, Science and Technology Festival, Age Action, fundraisers. Where do you start? Off you go.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Nathan, and my volunteering experience has been a pretty wonderful journey. It all started as an international student. I was looking for opportunities to start volunteering, and I came across the Live program, and it's been a truly rewarding experience. It all started off with the Shawsworth and even the Galway Science and Technology Festival. And I would like to highlight the aspect about Shawsworth, because right now in these difficult times, it is important for us to all maintain our personal mental health. And I'm trying to apply the skills I've learned in these difficult times. It means a lot when you call up someone and ask how they're feeling in this times of isolation, and it really feels good when you call up and check with them, see how they're feeling good. It helps us to not make other persons feel lonely. And even this Galway Science and Technology Festival, it is all about creating interest for the young kids. So it's all been a personally rewarding experience. I've developed my communication skills, value of empathy. It is awesome it feels very good to give something back to the wonderful society we live in. just do
Oh,
a bit.
thank you, Nathan. That's great. I'm just going to pause you for 1 minute because we've dropped from Facebook and you're saying some great stuff. So we want to make sure everyone can hear it on Facebook. Of course, we will have this recording as well that will go out. But I'm so glad you've talked about actually the pertinence of Shas Suez right now. That's a really good point. So I'll just make sure I say that again when David gives us the go that we're all going to go back on Facebook. For some reason, Facebook doesn't like us today and keeps dropping. But I probably shouldn't say that because of course Facebook loves us. Facebook is really, really loves us. During all of this, one of our super alive interns, Aideen, is actually live tweeting today's session. So she's popping up little bits and bobs that you say. She's doing little snapshots of that and sharing that out as well. So people who don't have access to video or can't watch on Facebook, at least they could see the little tweets on Twitter as well. So that's another way to share the positivity, which is great. And we're back again. Yay, that's fantastic. Thank you to our super David tech team who's helping us. Then you were making a really, really good point about the skills that you developed as a Shas Suez volunteer. That whole program in semester 1 really focused on building up your skills around supporting your fellow student, and you were reflecting on how that has come into play now.
Yeah, so it is very important in these difficult times to put ourselves in others' feet and think how they're feeling. So it is a really rewarding experience. I've learned empathy. These are skills that you don't learn in school. So it all comes down through experiences.
Yeah. Nathan, thank you so much, and well done with all your volunteering this year. And thank you for your contribution. Up next, we have Niamh Kelly, and Niamh is a College of Arts student, and she is super involved as an ATS mentor. So that was a new program this year on campus. Niamh, would you like to tell us a little bit about ATS and the impact it's made for all the people involved?
Yeah, sure. So ATS stands for Attract, Transition, Succeed. And that's kind of the 3 aims of the program. So we want to attract college students who might not have traditionally been able to go to college. It's helping first years who got into college through non-traditional routes. And it's really good to have your first year mentor be someone who you have a common understanding with. So we form into groups of people who might have got in through the HERE scheme or the DARE scheme or mature students all together, and you kind of have a group of people who understand you on the first day. And it's something that I really enjoyed helping other people with, and would have been helpful if when I was in first year as well. And I just kind of think that there's loads of opportunities on campus to help people from disadvantaged backgrounds. For example, there was a workshop in November held by Owen Ward, sorry. And he helped primary students from Jesh schools who were in 6th class understand different supports out there to help them get into college. And I just think that it's it's really important to help people who might feel like outsiders when they get here, and it changes the perception of what a college student is. But a lot of the mentoring didn't have to do with specifically talking about those issues, and it was just listening to fellow students, talking about everyday struggles and all that. And it really doesn't take too much time away either. It doesn't feel like you're putting your life on hold to volunteer. It's maybe an hour a week every 2 weeks, or even just once a month, and you're meeting up with a bunch of students and just having a coffee, going to a movie, doing something like that. And yeah, I hope this program can continue into the future and just incorporate people from all different types of backgrounds, because we should be able to celebrate people who, you know, have had to deal with struggles in their life and have overcome them and managed to get into college and better their lives. So
Niamh, thank you so much. It's so wonderful to hear your experience, because I think that's the thing, is that you've made such a point around it can be so natural to volunteer, in that it doesn't take a lot of time if it's something that's natural, like this natural meeting up with your fellow students and having that conversation and engaging with them. It doesn't feel like this extra time or extra burden. So that naturalness is there. And sometimes when it's so natural, we forget to recognize it and its contribution. It's so important. I mean, the people that you met for a chat, you know, for you, maybe it might have been just a chat, but for them, they went home that day and they were like, I had a good day today in college. You know, I met somebody cool. And, you know, it's the ripples there, isn't it? So Niamh, thank you so much. And Joseph runs that program, so it's a fantastic addition to the university landscape of engagement. And great shout out for Owen, who's had a stellar year of achievements. And Niamh, thank you so much. That's great. And our next speaker is Laura. And Laura Carroll is in the College of Business, and she has been very active with a new volunteer program as well, the Student Tax Clinic. So very important. We all need your tax advice, Laura. And you're also super involved with soccer. And of course, sports is huge on campus. So over to Laura and share your wonderful words of wisdom.
Thanks, Lorraine. Yeah, so I was involved in 2 different volunteering roles this year. Yeah, so firstly, as you mentioned, I was a student advisor in the newly developed tax clinic that was piloting this semester. So this involves students of NUI Galway coming to the clinic with all sorts of tax queries, and we provided guidance to them. We got great expertise and support from the likes of Emer, Sandra and Rosemary over in the ILS institution over the other side of campus. So I think the clinic was a great success, and I hope it continues in the future. I personally got involved with this because of the career path I'm choosing, and also wanted to get back to the college community. So it's really only in the last couple of years that I've actually started to understand what tax actually is. And I only wish that, like when I first started working, that this sort of tax information clinic was available to me. So when I heard about the tax clinic, I was happy to get on board. I suppose there was a fulfilling feeling being able to give my peers like tax guidance. Yeah, so outside of the tax clinic, I was a member of the NUI Galway ladies soccer team and the committee. So I've been playing with the team for 5 years and have been on the committee for 4 years. So this year I had, yeah, I know, long enough. And this year I had an official role of equipment officer, but unofficial role of doing just about anything that's needed of me. So at the moment I'm doing a master's, and therefore I'd like taking a step back on the committee to allow other students in younger years to take the reins on running the club. But I provided support whenever it was asked of me. I never really saw it as a chore doing any of the work, because the soccer team is where I've made my best friends in college over the years. And it was a pleasure for me to do the things in the background in order for the good things to continue happening on the pitch. I suppose we had a pretty good year in sporting achievements, in that we made it to the InterVarsity semi-finals, which was due to happen last week, but they unfortunately got cancelled. I think we would have won it, but sure, we'll never know. And again, yeah, we had great support from our coaches and the rest of the committee, but in particular our coaches, Emer and Pork. But yeah, it's a great year.
Gosh, well done, Laura. And I think when we think about how many sports clubs are on campus, and how many InterVarsities, training, I mean, the pitch is the whole thing, and the voluntary effort that goes into pulling that off is stellar. So you can never graduate, Laura. You have to stay forever.
Staying forever.
And yeah, great to mention the tax clinic, which are just this brand new program, and hopefully will continue. It was funded by the Student Projects Fund, which was great support. for the text clinic. So our next speaker is Leonard, and Leonard did lots of volunteering with a local community group to Galway. It's called Positive Health for All. And Leonard, we'd love to hear a little bit about what it was like to, I suppose, get an insight into tutoring with young people in Galway City.
Hello.
Hi, Leonard.
Yeah. I actually volunteered at Positive Health for All. It was a charitable organization, and I really had lots of fun doing that. When I left my home country, I was also a volunteer in my CDS group, which is a community development service. So when I came to Ireland, I really wanted to do what I was doing back home. And Positive Health for All presented that opportunity for me to get to do that. And doing that is just all about promoting people's well-being, their mental health, physical health too. So it was really fun. And also I noticed here in Ireland, there are lots of vulnerable people. And the two most vulnerable groups here in Ireland are the elderly and the children. So it gave me an opportunity to be able to reach out to them, to enlighten them about the need to keep their activities up and running, to be able to promote their well-being physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially. And also one of the highlights of my volunteering role at Positive Health for All, it's when my organization partnered with the National Youth Council of Ireland during the One World Week. I was able to enlighten the populace about the environment, how to sustain the environment, and to preserve and conserve the environment too. That is not something I was used to doing, but it gave me an opportunity to be able to speak out to lots of people using projector slides to reach out to people. Initially, I wouldn't have done that because I was really a shy person. But Positive Health for All gave me the opportunity. And actually today just made it 1 month, the organization got an EPIC award for the organizational promotion they've been doing in the society. So it was really fun doing that with Positive Health for All. However, looking into the future, I don't think I'll stop volunteering. It's something I love doing. And also I look forward to volunteering with the elderly too, because I really didn't get a lot of time to volunteer with the elderly people. It was more of like the kids, the children, and the youths. But hopefully in the nearest future, I believe I'll be able to volunteer in a role that would give me access to the elderly in Ireland.
Oh, Leonard, you're an absolute treasure. Oh my goodness. And yeah, I'm so glad you got to mention that the charity won that award. Positive Health for All was started by a graduate of NUI Galway. She was one of the founding members. Yeah, so
yeah, she's the chairperson, Millicent.
Yeah, so she's class. So we're very proud of her achievements and how that organization grows and develops. And it just is an example of, if you're a student and you've been passionate about volunteering, if you see a need and you want to address that, yeah, you can create those avenues and create opportunities to connect. And great to mention One World Week as well, which is, of course, the Sustainable Development Goals are a huge focus we have. So Leonard, you're a College of Science student and we love you. Thank you so much. And our next College of Science student actually is Lisa. And Lisa Hamilton was super involved with Flirt FM. She could talk for Ireland, I'm sure. She's going to share with us a little bit about what it's like to be a volunteer on the radio. Very involved with Radio Society as well, which of course is, our societies are a huge part of our student life. And Lisa.
Hi Lorraine, thank you very much for that intro. Hi you guys following us on Facebook Live. So my time in college, I'm in second year now in science, and as like a lot of people, I kind of started college a bit nervous and I wasn't really confident in myself, and I found Flirt FM in my second semester. Quite unconventional, a lot of people starting first, and from the moment I walked in, it has been an absolutely incredible experience. I had no confidence to talk to people, not very much anyway. And I went in my first day, I did a few trainings. You do 2 trainings with Flirt FM. basically how to work the desk and do you have an idea for a show? And I brought my idea, which was an arts and entertainment show, which at the time was lacking on Flirt, and it's one of my biggest passions. You can probably see Lion King and Wicked in the background there. So I brought that to Paula, the station manager, and she said, yeah, come on ahead. And they have been nothing but supportive. And Flirt FM is an incredibly open community of people just like you and me, students and past students alike, who all come together to share the passion of radio. And I have learned so many skills through that. I like communication skills. I present my own shows. I've met some incredible people through interviewing local musical societies, musicians, artists from incredible backgrounds, and it has been an absolutely rewarding experience beyond words that I can explain. So through that, I had never joined Radio Stock before. I only joined that this year. And one of my friends, Liam, if you're watching, Liam, hello. He is the main reason I am sitting here today in my PRO t-shirt. I was coerced to go to the first meeting, and as most people, I was just going to be a regular person in Radio Stock. I had no intention of joining a committee. And he knew that I had a passion for photography and that I was interested in making posters, and through having my own show on Flirt, I obviously had a lot of experience doing that. So I was sitting in the meeting and he was looking at me going, go on, might as well. Like, so I volunteered and I said, look, I'll try PRO. I'd never done it before, so, you know, might as well try something different. And it has honestly been one of the best years I've ever spent in my life. We have done so many things as a committee. Like, just to reiterate, like you said, ripple effect of different events people have held. Like, we have held tea and chats every week, which is basically an opportunity for people to come and take a break from study and take a break from the stresses of college life and just sit and chat with people that they may have interests with, you know, common interests. And one of my favorite events that we did this year was the 24-hour show in aid of Let's Get Talking Galway, which is an incredible organization. And to be able to get the opportunity to in some way contribute towards their work in Galway was incredible. Like, I did the PRO for it, and we held obviously the 24-hour broadcast, which I presented my own show kind of 2.0 in, and we held a gig in Áras na Gael, which was supported by so many people. And I just want to take this opportunity to say to everyone who came out, to everyone who listened to that show and donated to that charity, we are honestly so overwhelmed at how many people helped us and contributed. And honestly, it has been the most rewarding experience I've ever had. And I have learned so much through volunteering with Flirt and Radio Stock. And lads, honestly, like, this is kind of, volunteering is seen as such an effort, like, to some, and it really isn't. Like, I've like the quote is, if you enjoy what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And honestly, that is so true. Like, you join societies anyway, and if you want to learn a new skill, join as your PRO or as your treasurer or as something involved in a society you're already in. It's not that much more work, and you learn so much. You learn how to deal with people, you learn how to interview, you learn how to deal with money, and skills that will be absolutely brilliant for work, no matter what you're doing. Like, I'm doing science, and this has given me an opportunity to be creative as well, because you need a creative outlet for your mental health. We all know that. You need something that you love doing apart from your college work. And I'm not going to sit here and say it wasn't any work, because PRO and as any position is, you know, it's a bit of work, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And if there's anyone out there that has ever had an interest in radio but goes, oh, I don't know, I don't know if I'd be able to talk on a show. Lads, I have had several people who never sat in a studio before. I had this experience going in Radio Stock. You know, in fairness, I had a few months experience on radio, but one of my friends, Neve, had never sat in a studio before, and she presented a show on the 24-hour show, and that's from September to April. So if you're afraid and you're a bit nervous, there's nothing to be nervous about. We're very approachable people, and it's an incredible way to give back, especially because we do the 24-hour charity broadcast, and we do many outside broadcasts as well in aid of charity and stuff. So what I say next year, come up to the society's table, no matter what society. I'm just speaking for Radio Stock, of course, but go up to the society table, put your name down. If you want to go for a committee position, I 100% recommend it. You will never like regret it because you learn so much. And as for flirt, I say, if you've ever had an interest in radio, you will never meet more understanding and interesting and lovely people as flirts, Paula and Owen. They're honestly, if you have any sort of an idea of a show, or even if you don't, if you want to just go on a show with loads of people and just chat, that's perfect. So you can go to them on Socks Day as well, and they will have, they're usually on the Socks table at the black desk. So go to them on Socks Day, and I'll be there on Socks Day. So if you want a friendly face to come up to at the radio Sock table or first.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lisa,
So that's
that is
yeah.
that is definitely a rousing call to action. Thank you so much. You mentioned socks training, which is key, having your own ideas and letting them really take shape. And that's
exactly.
All the programs on campus. Lisa, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Lorraine. I really appreciate it. Best luck. Well done to everyone who got the reward.
Hi everyone, my name's Kirsty Moore and I'm a student volunteer here at NUI Galway Alive, and I'm here to talk to you about the project I'm involved in, which is Gaisce. I'll be talking to you about the organisation, the award, the volunteer opportunities with Gaisce. So Gaisce is a self-development programme for young adults aged 15 to 25, and at Gaisce we believe in the ability and resilience of young people. We want to nurture that ability and for them to reach their full potential. At Gaisce, we have 4 core values. Empowerment, so encouraging participants to shape their own path to self-discovery. Inclusion and equality, everyone gets the opportunity to grow and receives equality of access, participation and outcomes. Respect, so we value our people, recognising diversity and ensuring everyone is treated with dignity. And finally, excellence. We make an impact by pursuing the highest standards and maintaining our integrity as a team. The award itself. So at Gaisce, we encourage you to find your passion, get active and get involved. This is a direct challenge from the President of Ireland to young people to dream big and realise your potential. There are 3 levels, gold, silver and bronze, and the more time you commit, the bigger the reward, and you will gain a new physical, new personal and community involvement, as well as making new friends and developing your skills. So volunteering. So my role in Gaisce is a President's Award Leader, also known as a PAL. The benefits of taking part of this is you gain leadership skills, you encourage in the personal development of young people and contribute to the excitement of personal development and transitioning from a teenager to a young adult. The requirements. You don't have to be a past awardee to be involved as a PAL. I actually never did Gaisce myself. The programme wasn't active in my secondary school at the time. All that's required is if you have interesting skills, hobbies, or amazing life experience that you can use to inspire the participants involved, and that you can impart your knowledge and your experience on them to help them with their award. I found it a fantastic experience. I'm definitely going to keep it up for my 3 years left in NUI Galway. And it's a great programme to be involved in either way, either as a participant or as a volunteer. So I'd highly recommend contacting the Alive office if you're interested, and get involved either way, either as a participant and develop yourself, or get involved as a PAL and help others to learn how to engage in self-development. So that's all I have to say about Gaisce. Thanks for the time and happy Easter.
Laura Gibbons, and Laura is super involved with CAME, and CAME is a very well-established program on campus, hugely successful, down to its tremendous leaders and of course its wonderful volunteers. Over to Laura.
Okay, hi, my name is Laura and I was a CAME leader since September in psychology, and we would facilitate sessions for first year students every week. It'd be about 50 minutes, and we would help students help each other on something they were having trouble with in psychology. And then we would meet and have a debrief session with the CAME staff. Shout out to them because they do work so hard, and the academic staff as well, and the other leaders, and we would sit, have a chat, and we'd share ideas and, you know, solve problems that, you know, the other groups were having, or things like that. I think the main thing I liked about Came was that it was so informal and friendly, and we would sit down, you know, before the session and we'd have a chat with the first years, you know, see how they were getting on, or even chat about things that were going on around campus. And we just wanted them to see that we were students too, we were just like them, and we had, you know, a similar experience being a first year, and we would have had similar feelings, and it was kind of a safe place for them to, you know, ask questions and, you know, get things wrong, you know, because we didn't mind, you know. But I really think it allows first years to get, you know, the most of, you know, out of their experience at NUIG, and, you know, they can develop a better understanding of their lecture content, and, you know, get help with their assignments. And, you know, the biggest thing I think for them out of it is the social aspect, because arts is so big and there's such a wide range of subjects. You're sitting in, you know, a large lecture hall with so many people, it's really daunting, and it's so hard to make friends that way. And it's so nice for them to be in a smaller group, and it was really nice to see them growing closer as the weeks went on, you know, and becoming friends. And I mean, it has been proven that it does improve grades, so we have to throw that in there. But
That's
for me,
great. Yeah.
for me, I think I developed so many transferable skills like teamwork, leadership, communication, and it's really enhanced my CV. And I mean, it's helped me get this award and the employability award, and I found the training was really, really valuable, and I really enjoyed it. And it's been a really rewarding experience, and I've made so many new friends and met new people and everything. And I think that volunteering does build such a strong sense of community with others, because, you know, you're working together, you have a mutual goal, and you become friends. And I think I've really felt that with Came, and it's something I will really miss. So.
Oh, Laura, you're another one who can't leave. We have to keep you forever. College of Arts, Orla, we have a lovely Came volunteer leader as well from the College of Engineering perspective, so I think that's really nice to see the two different colleges have embraced Came. So do you want to share, Orla, a little bit from your perspective as an engineer?
Yeah, so I'm a second year engineering student, and I as well participated in the Came volunteering program. So we hold hour-long sessions every week with a group of first-year students where they could ask us questions, and we'd organise activities and kind of sort of fun but also educational activities where they could learn their course content and also work on assignments. So I really enjoyed it, because like seeing the impact it had on the first years, like it provided them with a safe space where they could have the confidence and feel safe to ask any questions or ask any advice that they may need. It was also me as a leader, I was able to give my personal experience to the students, as I had been through what they're going through, like the struggles of first year, how scary it is, like all the work you need to know. And I was able to share like any tips and tricks that I'd learned last year with them that like lectures and tutorials might not teach you. It was also really important that the students learned the benefit of peer learning. So like they were learning from each other rather than just being taught loads of information in a lecture. And I've always been really passionate about peer learning. I think it's so great, and it's such a good way to learn things. Also, it had a great impact on me. I learned my communication skills, and my time management and organization skills were greatly benefited from doing the sessions. And it was really rewarding for me to be able to share my experience with the students, and for them to, if they'd come up to me and say that maybe an activity we'd planned had benefited them in a test or an assignment, it was just really rewarding to know that the work I'd put in had paid off. And yeah, it was just really good experience.
Orla, thank you so much. That's brilliant to hear. I suppose the Came perspective from the College of Engineering, and Laura from the College of Arts. Came actually produced a lovely video to kind of commemorate their active year, and shared that today. So it's one of those things that will hopefully help circulate today to spread the positivity of volunteering with Came. So thanks, Orla. So that's it from our student panel, who you will agree with me have just been outstanding and stellar in giving their time and sharing their passion for volunteering. Our next two speakers are, I suppose, pillars of our community, and we're delighted that they could spend some time with us this morning and share. First up is the incomparable Brendan Smith, who of course is two-time Galway Volunteer of the Year. Pause for applause. It's Brendan Smith who is going to inspire us all about a lifetime of volunteering in under 2 to 3 minutes. There you go, Brendan, all of that. Off you go.
Great stuff. Okay, Lorraine, first of all, thank you for having me. It was so important to listen to those inspiring stories from these young people, and to be part of a ceremony where you are giving thanks to all the great volunteers that come out of NUI Galway. And you mentioned that you started back in 2003. I remember back in the 70s, the community volunteer movement right here at the university itself. And when I first came to Galway, we were the first generation to come to university, or third level generally, because of the grant system, and we suddenly found ourselves in a city where we were the majority and it was unbelievable, and so much good came out of the university student volunteering movement. If you look around Galway today, you look at Druid Theatre, you look at the Galway Arts Festival, you look at the Coda Dojo movement, you look at Mockness, all of those things came out of young people at the university here, shaping Galway. You go around Galway, you take a walk in the park like the Forest Park, Terryland, you go down to a sports field, you enjoy a community centre. All of those have been founded by volunteers, and a lot of them came from NUI Galway here itself. You look at our great president, Michael D. He was inspired as a student in Galway to be where he is today. And he is not just a politician, he's not just our head of state. He is our greatest volunteer. He always promotes the actual message itself. So much has come from the university, and we should be so proud of that. And it was mentioned by a previous speaker that it is important to be part of this because it will benefit you in the future. It certainly will. So much now of the companies, the corporate sector, research, if you're going on to do further research, it is almost essentiality now to have this experience of being involved in communities or starting to do it itself. And if you look around, today we are doing a ceremony for the first time of this type online. And why is that happening? Is because of COVID-19. But when the history of the COVID-19 is actually written, it will be talked about the hidden army of volunteers that have made things happen in Galway and elsewhere across the world. You take Galway, people have taken time out of their own lives to do shopping for neighbours. They've taken time out of their own lives to clean up parks. They've taken time out of their own lives to help people in the direct provision centre, the homelessness. So there is a huge underscore, and we have to realise that COVID-19 happened because of a certain consumerism society, and we should make this a reality check. Volunteerism should be ingrained into everyday lives. Look around Galway, you look around the country, the history of Ireland, the great movements like the GA came out of people helping each other. So we have a great tradition at the university, a great tradition at Galway, a great tradition at Ireland, and we should continue that. And it's great to see these inspiring stories happening because it certainly invigorates people like me. I've been there for more decades than I care to remember. And people like me will come and go, but there's whole new generations coming that are shaping Galway and Ireland for the better. Long may it continue. Thank you.
Oh, hear, hear. Thank you, Brendan. I think when you're volunteering, you don't necessarily see yourself as this great potential civic leader. But of course, that is what we're nurturing and growing, is that appetite to go on and take on those civic roles that we need into the future. Brendan, as always, it's a pleasure, and there's fabulous interviews of Brendan on our website. This year he's generously given his time again and again to student projects. Thanks so much, Brendan. Our final speaker is Elena from the Galway 2020 team. Elena, of course, is the volunteer coordinator for the European Capital of Culture Galway 2020 Wavemaker program. Elena has trained students to be wavemakers and to volunteer throughout this year, and it all started many years ago, so we're thrilled that Elena could join us and give us a little insight into I suppose her inspiration for volunteers.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Lorraine, and thanks for having me here today. A bit of last minute, so I don't really have a long speech or anything, but I just want to first say that I was so inspired by all the students talking today. It just feels like a breath of fresh air and a ray of light, especially at this difficult time. And I suppose I've been working with yourself, wonderful Lorraine, and Dara and all the super team in Alive for more than a year now, and I'm just really impressed with the way you offer brilliant service to the students in NUIG, and always with enthusiasm and always with a smile, which is really the way to go. Alive has been part of the training for our wave makers, and it's been fantastic to work together. And so I also would like to congratulate all the students who won the awards today. It's such a really a unique achievement, and you all make such a big contribution to different organizations and the whole community in Galway. And some of our volunteers have joined our volunteer program, the Wave Makers, through Alive. So we're really grateful to the organization, and I suppose seeing the students getting involved at events with us so far, and it's been really great to see, especially for international students. I suppose it's been an opportunity to get to know Galway, to make friends, and I've seen that happening, and it's just wonderful. And also for them to bring their enthusiasm and their goodwill. For me personally, meeting people from all these different countries, we now have 60 nationalities in our Wave Makers program, has been just beautiful and has added so much value in so many different ways. And also personally, in my own personal life, I just really feel so enriched. So I'd like to especially mention some students that I know, all the students that joined the Wave Makers through Alive, but particularly today, Venkata, who took part in a video as well for NUIG, Neringa helped us in so many different ways, and also Elena, Nitu, and Shivika, who I know have also been adding to the blog. Can't wait to read their blogs. And in general, the students that have helped us so far. Unfortunately, like many events and arts organization, we have to take a pause now due to this lovely coronavirus. However, we have built a community, and there is a lot of goodwill, and we are keeping the spirits up, and I'm sure that we will resume our activities at some stage. And I just want to say to everyone, to Lorraine and Alive, really keep up the good work. Thank you.
Oh, Elena, you're such a sweetie. Thank you. And I think our community organizations across the city, county and beyond, you host students and you give them a learning experience that is a fantastic opportunity and a platform for them. So your care and love and attention of the student population while they're with you is greatly appreciated. So thank you, and to all the community partners across the city who host our students as volunteers. Some of you are watching on Facebook Live, and you know, we've had wonderful technical issues, of course, and so we will have a full recording of today's ceremony available online this evening, so you can share it with your mom and your family. And thank you for bearing with us with all those technical pieces, and we really enjoy having you. And of course, Flirt FM are live on air all day, every day. We love Flirt FM, and they're also going to have a snippet of today's recording on Flirt FM, which is very exciting. So great to give a shout out, to mention to them, and to tune into their positivity every day. Flirt FM is broadcasting. We also had Bridget Gallagher from NUI Galway, current student who's managing the Student Connect mentor program. She had a bit of technical difficulties getting in, so we just want to give a nice shout out and mention to all the Student Connect first year mentors who support and enable first years to have a thriving first semester at NUI Galway. So thank you for all your volunteering this year. So we've had our celebration video kick us off. We had our student panel. We had our community input. We're going to post up onto Facebook and all our social media and websites our highlights video, which is another little video that's kind of got some images and quotes of all the different events and activities this year. I want to give a little mention to all the volunteers from St. Angela's College in Sligo. Well done on your volunteering this year. And of course, all of our wonderful colleagues in Shannon College have supported students to volunteer and do tremendous work on our Shannon campus. And so congratulations to all of you on your achievement of your certificate. In order to achieve the certificate, not only did you volunteer, but you had to do what we did with our panel there. You had to take a moment to pause, reflect, critically think and engage with your experience as a volunteer and complete your online diary. Reading these diaries over the last few weeks with the Alive panel has been tremendously inspiring, uplifting. It's what really gave us the energy and the courage to do today live out on Facebook. We just knew we had to share the breadth and depth of what students are engaged with. So thank you for completing your reflections. We had a new component this year on the reflection. We asked you to note a sustainable development goal that you have focused on, and topping the poll was goal 3. Many students are focused and passionate about good health and well-being, and I suppose that really resonates with our current lives. So really important to highlight how we're all working collectively to achieve these goals. Without further ado, I am going to officially launch your certificates. So I'm going to stick on a little bit of music while I click the play button on your certificate. Dun, 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 dun. So there we go now. Within the next few minutes, all of your certificates will be available to download from the Diary Portfolio website. So well done on your volunteering. All that's left to say now are a few thank yous and our big group goodbye. So we want to thank all of our panelists and speakers for their input and time today. I want to thank the tech team, David Kelly and Daniel from the Daniel Carey from the Moore Institute, our tech superstars. We couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much. Big thank you from the Alive internship team who had the opportunity to engage not only in this event, but in the whole certificate process. Dara, Orla, Aideen, Star, Ehab, you're just a stellar team to work with and can't wait to celebrate with you all. Thank you for your support. So now we're going to, on our screen, have all our panelists turn on their videos so we can do our final goodbye. And while they're doing that, I just want to say to you all, be patient with yourself, be patient with others, exude your kindness, which we know you have. We've read your diaries. Look after each other, be kind. As a volunteer, you've been preparing, you've been engaging in collective endeavors. So you have the skills to do this. You're resilient, you're wonderful people, you're truly inspiring, you are everything. And so from us all, the entire panel, a giant jazz hands and goodbye. Congratulations!